Hey, Andrzej here for mynexttablet.com. I'm at the press conference from Huawei in Barcelona right now, and I just introduced the new Huawei MediaPad M5 series, and in front of me is the MediaPad M5 8.4, which is, as you might have guessed, an 8.4-inch tablet. It's a predecessor, the next version of the Huawei MediaPad M3 that was released around 1.5 years ago, 1.5 years ago. And yeah, it's about time to get a new version. And the MediaPad M3 is the fastest Android tablet I reviewed after the Galaxy Tab S3. So the MediaPad M5 might be the fastest Android tablet out there once it is released, depending on what Samsung will be releasing this year. But it certainly will be one of the fastest tablets, which is really nice to see because we haven't seen that many high-end tablets in the last year, and this is certainly one of them. The design is very high-end. We've got a full metal body, nice rounded edges. It's not heavy at all, quite thin. And yeah, it's really comfortable to hold. We've got 2.5D glass, that's how Huawei calls it. Really makes a nice impression. It really feels high-end, like you're holding a high-end tablet, maybe like an iPad mini even. Let's go a bit around the device. We've got an 8-megapixel front-facing camera, a Huawei logo, then an 8.4-inch screen, and it has a resolution of 2560 by 1600, so really high resolution screen, and by the way, the same resolution as the MediaPad M3, so in terms of the screen, not much has changed. Below it, we've got a fingerprint reader, and that also seems to support like gestures. I'm not sure if they're activated, but usually the fingerprint reader from Huawei supports some kind of gestures, but often they have to be turned on in the settings. On the bottom here, we've got, first of all, a USB Type-C connector. I really hope it's USB Type-C, because if I pull this out here, then the alarm will go off, but I'm quite sure that it is USB Type-C. Then we've got two speakers, and on the top we've got two speakers as well. And well, it's a MediaPad, and Huawei wants that a MediaPad has a good entertainment experience, so we've got 4 speakers in total. Then we've got a 13-megapixel camera on the back, which by the way is not like flush with the back of the tablet. It stands a bit out. That's just how it is. Then we've got a card slot here. I'm pretty sure it's a micro SD card slot, but there will be an LTE version as well. So the LTE version might have like a dual card slot for micro SD and a SIM card. Alright, that's about the design. Really high end. It feels really nice in your hands. So let's take a look inside the tablet. And inside runs the Kirin 960. That's a quad-core chip that we've seen in the Huawei P10 from last year already. So it's not the newest chip that's out there, but Huawei kind of goes the way of Apple and Samsung. All 3 companies don't put the latest chipsets into the latest tablets. It's always about a year behind, which is not that great, but since everybody does it, that's just kind of how it is. And that's why this 1-year-old chip will make the MediaPad M5 still one of the fastest Android tablets out there. Together we're getting with the chip 4 GB of RAM and a 32 to 64 GB internal storage. On here runs Android 8.0 Oreo, so it's actually one of the first Android tablets that is released and will ship with Android 8.0 Oreo. And on top of it runs the Emotion UI, which is kind of identical to the Emotion UI from the previous Huawei tablets. No matter which one you had in the last couple of years, you will feel right at home, because not that much has changed. The interface is customized quite heavily. For example, the app drawer here is missing, so all apps are installed to the home screen directly. There are a lot of apps pre-installed, and they are all kind of identical to their smartphones and previous tablet. So software-wise, I really don't have that much new to show here. Obviously, it's Android, and there's a split screen view built in. Let's see, then you can open 2 apps side by side. We've seen that already. Because of the Emotion UI, there's really not much software-wise I can show you here. It's a bit overloaded, but you will get used to it. I'm usually fine with using Huawei devices, but it's certainly not perfect, and it's certainly not vanilla Android. And that's kind of it. That's what I've got to say about the Huawei MediaPad M5 8.4. Pretty nice hardware. The design is nice. The processor should be pretty fast. The display, the screen is really nice, and we've got fairly recent Android running on here. So it will probably be the fastest fastest 8-inch Android tablet once it is released, depending, maybe will Samsung introduce one. We haven't seen or heard anything from an 8-inch device from them, so it probably will be like the MediaPad M3. The MediaPad M5 will probably be the fastest 8-inch Android tablet out there. Yeah, I will certainly review it once it is released. Some countries it will be released by the end of March, starting at 349 euros, and it should be about that in US dollars and other currencies as well. Alright, if you've got any questions, just write me down below. I'm NJ for mynexttablet.com. Thanks for watching.